How's it going, everybody? My name is Matt, and I got frustrated with not finding any good tutorials for map making. So today I'm going to use Racetrack Builder and show you how to make a map. We're going to start off, we'll just call this New Map 1, and we'll hit OK. Racetrack Builder is by far the easiest way to make Assetto Corsa maps, but is not necessarily the best way. So I'm going to go ahead and select the road. I'm going to create a new cardinal road, and we can leave that on tarmac dark. And we'll just go ahead and start placing some roads. So now I can select the move track nodes tool and just move them a little bit closer and they'll connect. So now we have a track. So here is our track. We can go ahead and hit the cross section tool and we can adjust each individual section of the track. I don't want to do that. If anything, I'm going to select all of them, right click, and then go to align, and that'll flatten them. And you know what, we'll do that over here as well. 100%. Beautiful. Now we have a perfectly flat and level track. The existing landscape is flat, so we don't have to worry about any of those anomalies. So let's go ahead and add some string objects. We're going to go to string, and we're going to select the curve because we're going to put guardrails on a couple of these turns. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here, and I'm just going to go right on the edge. I'm doing this quick because I don't like to waste time, and you're probably not here for watching a pretty map get made. You just want to know how it's done. So there's one guardrail. We'll come back up here, select curve again. We'll place another guardrail along this curve. I'm going to go ahead and add a slight offset to all of the components of these guardrails, and that'll kind of push it out from the edge of the road a little bit. Do the same thing over here. Beautiful. So we have some guardrails. Let's go ahead and place some walls down. We'll start with this first one, and we'll just do the same thing. We'll go to curve, and then we'll make one wall right here. And then let's do some objects. Let's do a stadium. Some flat stadium. So I can select both of these. Then I'm just going to select single. Place one right here, and one here, and one right here. I'm going to select the move tool, and I'm just going to rotate it so that they're facing the actual track. And then let's go ahead and we'll get some cones in here. So I'll deselect those, select the blue cone, and then we're going to use the roadside tool. And just because we don't have anything on this curve, I'm going to go ahead and select just the left side. And I'm going to make the min and max about 6. How far that is, I'm going to select even spacing because I want them to be evenly spaced apart. And then I'm going to change the density to about 7. Now all I'm going to do is click and hold and drag along this road where I want the cones to be, and they appear. However, I don't like that, so I'm going to Control Z, and I'm going to raise the min and max distance to around 11. That's not what I want. And And do it again. Beautiful. So now we have cones that are placed along the outside of the track. And because they're all selected, I can hit the move tool. And if I want, I can make them really big. So let's do that just for the sake of the track. And I think we're good there. So let's go ahead and move on to the last phase of this track. We're just gonna mess with the start finish and timings. So this is where you're gonna spawn in the pits. So because I don't have a pit, I'm just gonna place this right here. You can grab these circles and rotate them to rotate the orientation of the spawned vehicle. I don't know what the hell this thing is. I usually just put it in a random location. And then these are your starting grid cars. And you can mess with however many of those you want. Let's say I only have 10, and I want it to be closer together, so I'm going to move the row offset. And make them start back there. Beautiful. So here you have your start finish gates. Right now it's set to be a circuit. If it's not a circuit, you can click the for rally box, and that will allow you to have both a start and a finish gate separately. You can move these guys, which are checkpoint 1 and checkpoint 2. Gonna make them a little more defined. And I think our track is good to go for now. Let's go ahead and hit save, file, export. We're gonna leave all of this alone. We're not gonna touch any of that. We want to export everything and clear the textures folder and all that. Let's go ahead and hit OK. We can now go ahead and close RTB, and we can open up KSeditor. So KSeditor is what we're going to use to create the KN5 file for the track. So we're going to go up to File, Open FPX, and we're going to go into New Map 1, Open, Export, and we're going to select the 3D object file, the FBX file. This is going to take very little to load because it's not got a lot of stuff on it. Hopefully. There we go. And we're going to use the left mouse button to look around and the arrow keys to move around. So here is our track in all of its glory. And what we're going to do, we want the walls to be collidable. So we're going to right click on those walls, and we can see over here on this side it's selected this SOBJ0. The S is for string, so this is a string object. Here is an OBJ, which is just a standard object, and you can see that those are the stands. So we can go ahead and click on the guardrails again, and down here we can see the name. So I'm going to triple click that so I can select all of it, and I'm going to rename it to 1 wall _ 001. And I'm going to just copy that so that we can go and select the other wall, and I'm just going to name it the exact same thing. I'm going to select the grandstands, and I'm going to name it that. Just click on this one just to make sure. And now we have, oh, forgot about that one. Now we have all of our walls that we want to be collidable. The cones by default are collidable, but they don't actually affect the car. You can move them around, but they don't stop the car or anything like that, so we don't have to worry about those. And to save, we're going to go ahead and you want to save persistence so that when you load the FBX file again, it will save all of the names that you've changed and all that stuff. But my KSeditor does not like to save persistence, so I have to do everything manually over again all of the time. Really annoying, but hopefully yours works. So you're going to save persistence, and then you will save KN5, save track, and then you're just going to click on this FBX and remove the .fbx. And then you can hit save. And 5 saved. You can go ahead and close KSeditor. Now we can open up our folder with new map 1, export new map 1. Here are your important files. Here's the FBX file that you created. This is a configuration file that was created at the same time. And then you have your KN5. So we're going to go into our, we're going to open up Assetto Corsa content folder, and we're going to go to tracks, and we're just getting this ready. So now I'm going to right click on my RTB desktop icon, what am I looking for? Open file location. In here, there is a support folder. In the support folder, Assetto Corsa and empty track template. So in here you have your AI, data, texture, UI, map, everything that you need to drag into create a new track. So we're going to copy and we're going to paste it into the tracks folder in the Assetto Corsa root folder. We're going to rename this exactly what our exported names are for our track. So I'm going to rename this to new map 1. Perfect. So now we can enter and we can go ahead and copy all of these into this folder. It'll overwrite whatever textures are in there, and we can take a look at them if we want. Beautiful. And then we have just a standard map. It's not going to be correct right out of the gate, so we can delete it. We'll fix that in a bit. So right now we're going to go to UI, and we're going to edit this UI track file, and we can rename this your track name to new map 1. These are placeholder values, so if I really wanted, I could put 99 or whatever. They don't really matter. The only thing that you really need to change is the name. The name has to match the name of your map. So we'll hit save, and then we can close that. And we're gonna get a preview, so let's delete that, and we can delete the outline as well. So now, this track should be perfectly good to go. So let's go ahead and open up Content Manager, and we can search new map 1. So if I select it, we don't have an image because we deleted the image, the preview. We can go to Manage Tracks, and this only applies if you have the full version of Content Manager. It will show you in the Tracks tab of the Content tab that you're missing the map, the preview is missing, and the outline is missing. Content Manager makes it a million times easier to make all of these. Watch. Done. Beautiful. We have a track. We're not going to do the preview yet. Let's do the outline. Beautiful. And now what we can do is we can simply go back here and we can drive. It's nighttime. All right, we've loaded in, and here we are. We're on our map. Let's go ahead and test it out. Let's hit the wall a little bit just to test and make sure that's good. Bonk. Beautiful. And let's hit some cones. And the stadium. And there we go. That's really everything that you need to create a basic map using Racetrack Builder. I know you're probably gone at this point, and that's perfectly fine. That's why I made this tutorial. I'm gonna follow this one up with one on lighting because it was absolute hell trying to find information on how to do track lighting. And I will see you guys in that video. See you later.